Hello, happy Monday, the last Monday of 2020. And that's crazy. It's the last Monday of 2020. I just realized.
Yeah, that is. And it is. 2020 has gone by fast, especially the second half of the year.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, there are definitely times where I was like, oh man, a lot of time has happened in a short period. It feels like a month has gone by and it's been a week, but
Yep.
the last few months have flown by.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 2020, we're wrapping it up this week. And so tonight, Kayla and I were going to talk about goals and setting strong goals going into 2021 because Kayla has very eloquently mentioned before that what we are doing now sets us up for the future.
Mm.
So setting goals and setting solid goals that you are able to follow through on are going to really lay a solid foundation going into 2021.
Yeah.
So we wanted to take some time tonight and work on some goals.
Yeah. So we'll start by each of us, and you'll do the same thing at home, pulling out a piece of paper and a pen and writing down one goal that you have for the year ahead. So when you reflect back on your past year, 2020, what is something that you want more of in your life, or that you want to intentionally possibly change or alter in some way to create a more fulfilling, happier, joyful life for yourself? So pen to paper like we know, and we're going to take a second here and we're going to each write down our goal. And check the wording when you're done with it. Make sure, read it back to yourself, see if there's anything you want to change with it. Kristen, you got a goal written down?
I do. And I was putting a note on there. I'm going to read it as I wrote it first.
Okay.
In 2021, I will take time each week to practice mace and deepen my practice.
Very good. How does it feel to read that out loud?
It feels, I like it. I did some mace flow today. First time I've done the flow with somebody since the lake house. So it reinforced. I'm like, I really like this. I feel really strong when I do it, and I want more. So
That's awesome.
it feels, yeah, I can feel that, and like, yeah, I want to do this.
Gusto that comes with it.
Yeah. What did you write down?
I said I want to spend more time with Hudson. That's what I wrote down for my goal.
I like it.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you say that?
Excited, playful, fun.
Yeah. He's a year now, right?
Yeah. Yep. 13 months.
Fun.
So much fun. So much fun.
Yeah. So what I had done, why I said I was going to read it like I initially wrote it, was I realized that when I had I will take, can I put it closer? That I have it as something that's happening, still happening. So I had crossed that off and I wrote down in 2021, I took time each week to practice mace and deepen my practice.
So you past tensed it as if it already happened.
Yeah, which feels, like you said, like it already happened, like it's something I'm more likely to do.
Yeah. And I know Another thing that we can do is check the language of our goals as well to make sure that the language is solid, right? So you are very clear on what you want and specific as well.
Mhm.
So, my goal says I want to spend more time with Hudson, which is a great statement. And at the same time, it's also vague to some extent, because what's more time? Is it an extra 15 minutes? Is it a day? What does it look like if I'm going to spend more time with him? And so that needs to be specified, as well as when am I going to do it? Is there a certain pattern I want to follow, or are there certain activities I want to do with him that would equate to spending more time with him? So that's what I noticed when I reread mine, is that the specificity is really needed for my goal, because I think all of us have a person in our lives that we'd want to spend more time with, and even identifying more quality time, or more listening time, or more, what does that time look like? Because you could be in the same room with somebody and everybody's doing their own thing. Is that the type of time you want to spend? So that's what I noticed about my goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, so what will you write? What are you going to write to make it?
Well, rather than I want to spend more time with Hudson, I want to say that I spend more time with Hudson. And when I think about that, I really like going over there in the late afternoon, a couple days a week, to have a snack with him and play for a little bit. So that can be 2 days a week that I would like to do. And then also seeing him each weekend for a longer period of time, because during the week that might be anywhere from around 30 minutes or so. And on the weekends, I want it to be, or I'm going to create closer to 2 or 3 hours. So that becomes, I visit Hudson twice a week in the late afternoon, and I visit Hudson each weekend. And visiting, I know, sounds like, isn't the intent, the intention is to play and to engage. So I can also change that word too.
Yeah. And one thing before we go to another step that I had just thought of and written down, when writing goals, something that is common is to put in soft talk. So soft talk is language that it's a softening language, a softening of the words. So things like probably, should, maybe, could, I like, kind of. Ones where there's others in there too, but I would say want to can be in goal format is a soft word. However, for the purpose of this exercise, take a look at your goal and first look and see if there are any of those soft words in there, and read it back to yourself. And if there aren't, go through and find one, like maybe, sort of, kind of, and add it into your goal, and then read it and see how that feels. So like with mine, in 2020, I maybe will take time each week to practice and deepen my practice mace and deepen my practice, possibly. So
Not gonna happen.
you can even tell. I'm like,
Yeah.
So yeah, with it, once that's with the softwares, you look at it and you're like, nah, likely it's not going to happen. So
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, it's a great point. And two, I notice with mine when I write, like when I state I play and engage with Hudson after school and each weekend, it becomes wordy at the same time.
Yeah.
So splitting it into two separate goals is also helpful to be very specific on it as well.
Mhm.
So I play and engage with Hudson after school 2 days a week. I play and engage with Hudson each weekend for 2 hours.
How does it feel rating those ones?
It feels much more definite and something that's much easier to allocate in my schedule because I know the time frame of when I'm going. So even if my weeks are slightly different after work, I know that 2 days I can schedule it in and schedule other stuff around it. And I also know the time frame on the weekends. So even when I'm requesting, like, hey, can I stop over at your house, this weekend and play with Hudson? I know a time frame, how long I want to be there, so I can make them more aware of it as well. So if they need to go run errands, my sister and her husband, that's something that they can allocate for because, oh, Kayla's going to be here for 2 to 3 hours or whatever the time frame, what that is.
Yeah.
So it helps everybody out, right? Like takes away that ambiguity in my mind when I look at my calendar, and in their mind, it's concrete as well. So they can plan with it in mind.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does read yours again?
Yeah. So I added another sentence to mine because I realized something. So I'll read the sentence again and then tell you what I added. So in 2021, I took time each week to practice mace and deepen my practice. And I realized that with this, while I'm putting it in the past tense and feeling that I've done it, there's nothing set aside concrete. So it could happen. It feels like it happened, but to make sure that I'm doing it, I added another sentence that said, I will do this by setting aside time 3 days a week to do mace flow.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then the next step would be to take on my phone, take on my calendar, and schedule in the 3 days that I'm going to do it, which 4:00 was a really good time for me for dance when I was doing that.
Exactly. Well, and then you have some consistency as well, right? And that creates comfortability as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. And I was thinking this would be a great goal for us to revisit in February in one of our Heart Connection calls and hold each other accountable, see how we're doing, and make adjustments, right? Because while it is written down on paper, it is a living, breathing organism. So sometimes our goals change, and sometimes we realize, well, I wouldn't say, oh, I want to spend less time with Hudson, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you decide, oh, like I enjoy mace and I want to add in some more dance. So I want to find a nice complement between the two. So rather than being like, I have to do 3 days a week for 2021 in order to be successful, right? Like that could lead you down a dark path. So it's important to be comfortable or willing and fluid with our goals to modify it as necessary. So I say we revisit our goals in February.
Perfect. And I was going to say, who knows? Could even be like, I am enjoying this so much that I want to hire an instructor.
Yeah, exactly.
That could be another part. So yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's really, I know that that's really important for us because this is the time of year when everyone sets out these goals and, and they follow through for a while. They have the best of intentions. And part of the reason why people fall off is the goal or the intention changes. However, in their mind, it hasn't. So,
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, when you're watching this too, share your goals with us. Let us know like what goals you have for 2021. We'd love to hear them.
Yeah, please share, and we'll revisit them. We would love to look at them with you sometime in January if you need help writing them. I know Chris and I were talking before this call that we're going to make some slight modifications to the Heart Connection time. We're going to spend the first Monday of every month doing our spotlight like we were doing throughout most of the fall and spotlighting our new members. And then we're going to spend the second and fourth where Chris and I are going to do a short video, the two of us, something quick that you can watch as you're brushing your teeth in the morning or packing your lunch or driving to work. Something feel good for you to engage in. And then the third Wednesday of the month is when we're going to be doing our live call. So we can plan on our February live call to revisit goals, and we can even do it in January as a check-in to see how everyone's doing. Sound like a plan, Kristen?
It does. It's a good.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. So definite live call on the 3rd of each month.
Yep.
And yeah, there will be plenty. There will still be lots of content. We'd love to see your lovely faces once a month on the 3rd Monday. So.
You bet. And we thank all of you for joining us and participating and being a part of our magical group. We are very appreciative for each of you that are here and those that continue to spread the good word and invite others. So we thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we wish you all a wonderful end of 2020 and only the best as we walk into 2021.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.